In the ancient land of Canaan, nestled among the cities of the plain, lay the infamous cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. These cities were notorious for their wickedness and moral depravity. Despite this, Lot, the nephew of the revered patriarch Abraham, had chosen to make his home there, drawn by the fertile land and opportunities the cities seemed to offer. One evening, as the sun began to set and the shadows grew long, two strangers appeared at the city gate of Sodom. Lot, sitting at the gateway, immediately recognized them as messengers from the Lord. He rose to greet them, bowing low with respect. "Lot, my lords, please turn aside to your servant's house. You can wash your feet and spend the night, and then go on your way early in the morning." The visitors, however, initially declined, insisting that they would stay in the city square. But Lot, aware of the dangers that lurked in the night, urged them strongly until they agreed to stay with him. He prepared a meal, baking bread without yeast, and they ate together in his home. As the night deepened, the true nature of Sodom's inhabitants became alarmingly clear. Before Lot and his guests had retired for the night, all the men of the city, both young and old, surrounded Lot's house. "Sodomites, where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us so that we can have sex with them." Lot, distressed by their vile intentions, stepped outside and pleaded with them. "Lot, no, my friends, don't do this wicked thing. Look, I have two daughters who have never slept with a man. Let me bring them out to you, and you can do what you like with them. But don't do anything to these men, for they have come under the protection of my roof." The crowd, however, was not swayed. They jeered at Lot, threatening to treat him worse than his guests. As they pressed forward to break down the door, the angels reached out, pulling Lot back inside and shutting the door. Then they struck the men outside with blindness, rendering them unable to find the door. The angels then revealed their true purpose. "Angels, do you have anyone else here? Sons-in-law, sons or daughters, or anyone else in the city who belongs to you? Get them out of here, because we are going to destroy this place. The outcry to the Lord against its people is so great that he has sent us to destroy it." Lot hurried to his sons-in-law, who were pledged to marry his daughters, and urged them to flee. "Lot, hurry! Take your wife and your two daughters who are here, or you will be swept away when the city is punished." But they thought he was joking. As dawn approached, the angels urged Lot again. "Hurry! Take your wife and your two daughters who are here, or you will be swept away when the city is punished." Despite the urgency, Lot hesitated. The angels, showing the Lord's mercy, grasped the hands of Lot, his wife and his two daughters, leading them safely out of the city. Once outside the city, the angels instructed them, "Flee for your lives. Don't look back and don't stop anywhere in the plain. Flee to the mountains, or you will be swept away." Lot, fearing the hardships of the mountains, pleaded, "No, my lords, please, your servant has found favor in your eyes, and you have shown great kindness to me in sparing my life. But I can't flee to the mountains. This disaster will overtake me, and I'll die. Look, here is a town near enough to run to, and it is small. Let me flee to it. It is very small, isn't it? Then my life will be spared." The angels consented, and Lot fled to the small town of Zoar. As the sun rose over the land, the Lord rained down burning sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah, destroying the cities, the entire plain, and all the vegetation. Tragically, Lot's wife looked back, despite the command not to, and she was turned into a pillar of salt. Fearing to stay in Zoar, Lot and his daughters moved to the mountains and lived in a cave. The desolation and isolation weighed heavily on Lot's daughters. They believed they were the last people on earth, and that their family line would perish if they did not act. One day the older daughter said to the younger, "Our father is old, and there is no man around here to give us children, as is the custom all over the earth. Let's get our father to drink wine, and then sleep with him and preserve our family line through our father." Genesis 19:31-32. That night they executed their plan. They got Lot drunk with wine, and the older daughter went in and slept with him. Lot was unaware of what happened. The next day, the older daughter said to the younger, "Last night I slept with my father. Let's get him to drink wine again tonight, and you go in and sleep with him so We can preserve our family line through our father, Genesis 19:33-34. The following night, they repeated the act. Lot again was unaware due to his inebriation. Both daughters became pregnant by their father, Genesis 19:35-36. In time, the older daughter gave birth to a son named Moab, who became the father of the Moabites. The younger daughter also bore a son named Ben-Ami, who became the father of the Ammonites, Genesis 19:37-38. These two sons, born out of desperate circumstances, would go on to father nations that played significant roles in the history of Israel. The Moabites and Ammonites, though born of a controversial union, were part of the intricate tapestry of the biblical narrative. The story of Lot and his daughters is one of survival and desperation, set against the backdrop of divine judgment and mercy. It challenges readers to reflect on the complexities of human behavior, the consequences of living in a corrupt environment, and the lengths to which individuals might go when they believe they have no other options. Lot's story does not end with the birth of his grandsons. His daughter's actions, driven by a mixture of survival instinct and misguided decisions, resulted in the birth of two nations that would later interact with Israel in various ways, often as adversaries. The Moabites and Ammonites would influence and be influenced by the children of Israel, reflecting the intricate and sometimes contentious relationships among the descendants of Abraham. In the generations that followed, the Moabites and Ammonites played significant roles in the history of the Israelite people. The Moabites, for instance, were notably mentioned in the story of Ruth, a Moabitess who became the great-grandmother of King David, thereby placing her in the lineage of Jesus Christ. This connection highlights a redemptive arc and the intertwining destinies of these peoples despite their origins in a moment of desperation and moral ambiguity. Similarly, the Ammonites, though often adversaries of Israel, shared familial ties that complicated their relationships. The struggles and interactions between these nations and Israel would serve as reminders of their shared ancestry and the complex legacies of their forebears. The story of Lot and his daughters invites deeper moral and theological reflections. It underscores the impact of living in a corrupt and morally bankrupt society, as evidenced by Lot's willingness to offer his daughters to the men of Sodom and the daughters' subsequent actions. It also highlights the themes of judgment and mercy, with the destruction of Sodom serving as a stark reminder of divine justice, while the rescue of Lot's family illustrates God's mercy. Furthermore, the narrative speaks to the resilience of life and the human spirit. Despite the grave circumstances and questionable actions, life persisted and new nations arose. This persistence can be seen as a testament to the enduring human desire for survival and continuity, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges. The extended tale of Lot and his daughters, as recounted in Genesis, is a multifaceted narrative that encompasses themes of judgment, mercy, survival, and the moral complexities of human behavior. It challenges readers to reflect on the nature of righteousness, the impact of one's environment, and the often unpredictable ways in which God's plans unfold in the lives of his people. Through the preservation of Lot's lineage, despite the morally questionable means, the narrative highlights the themes of survival and continuity that are prevalent throughout the Bible. This story serves as a sobering reminder of human fallibility, the importance of obedience to divine commands, and the intricate, often perplexing paths through which God's providence is realized.